Welcome back to Calm and Cozy Bedtime. Tonight, I'm thrilled to guide you on a journey through the corners of memory. A story about more than just moments from the past, but about how those moments, like tiny threads, weave into the fabric of who we are today. Let's start with a simple image. Imagine an old photo album. Its edges are worn, its pages slightly yellowed by time, hidden away in the dusty corner of an attic. You pull it down, and as the soft light catches the faded cover, your heart skips a beat. Inside, a world of memories awaits, sealed in snapshots that seem frozen in time. You flip through the pages and stop at one particular photograph. It's nothing extraordinary at first glance, just a picture of a little girl standing on a beach. Her hair catches the salty breeze, her toes dig into the cool sand, and her smile radiates the kind of joy that feels endless. It's a moment you might otherwise pass over. Yet, as you look closer, this simple photo begins to tell a story. This picture is more than just a piece of paper. It's a doorway, a portal to summers long gone, where the air smelled of salt and sunscreen, and the sound of crashing waves harmonized with laughter. It's a story about friendship, the kind that's as steady and unyielding as the ocean's tide. It's about dreams crafted in the sunlight, whispered into the breeze, and carried away on the horizon. This picture reminds us of who we were, and in some ways, who we still are. Take a moment with me now. Close your eyes if you'd like. Breathe deeply. Inhale the calm, and exhale the weight of the day. Allow your mind to wander back to the days that seem to stretch on forever. Remember the feeling of sand slipping through your fingers, the way the water kissed your ankles and quickly retreated, leaving you both exhilarated and yearning for more. Remember the golden glow of the late afternoon sun as it wrapped itself around you like an old familiar blanket. Tonight, we're not just reflecting on memories, we're stepping into them. We're opening that album, diving into those captured moments, and letting them wash over us like waves returning to the shore. What did you dream of when you were young? Who stood beside you in those moments of wonder? What laughter echoed through your world? And how did it feel to believe that anything was possible? This is your time now, a pause in the chaos of modern life to reconnect with a simpler, quieter part of yourself. It's an opportunity to let the rhythm of the story carry you, much like the rhythm of the ocean carries the tide. You're not just a spectator here, you're a part of it. These aren't just my stories, they're your stories too, waiting to be uncovered, relived, and cherished. So, settle in. Find your coziest spot, whether it's nestled under a blanket or leaning back in your favorite chair. Let the world outside melt away, and let this moment be yours. We're about to embark on a journey of nostalgia and wonder, a path that winds through cherished memories and leads straight to the heart of what matters most. This is more than just a bedtime story. It's an invitation to reflect, to feel, and to dream. And as we begin, let yourself be carried by the tide of memory, the ebb and flow of emotions that connect us all. Tonight is your chance to revisit the moments that made you who you are, and perhaps rediscover parts of yourself you thought were lost. Welcome to calm and cozy bedtime. Let's begin. This photograph takes me back to the lazy summer days of childhood, where time seemed to stretch endlessly, as if the sun would never set on our youthful adventures. I can still remember the salty scent of the ocean hanging in the air, crisp and invigorating. The rhythmic sound of waves crashing against the shore felt like the heartbeat of Mother Nature herself. My small feet sank into the warm, golden sand, the grains slipping between my toes with every step I took. Above me, the sky stretched out, an endless expanse of azure, interrupted only by a few wispy clouds drifting lazily, as if they too had nowhere to be but here. Back then, I was just a 10-year-old girl with sun-kissed brown hair that never seemed to obey a comb, and a laugh that echoed across the dunes like the cheerful chime of a bell. My name is Lily, and the beach wasn't just a place, it was a world. A world where I could be anyone, a fearless explorer, a whimsical dreamer, or simply a girl chasing the wind without a care. In the photo, I'm not standing alone. Beside me is Sarah, my best friend and in many ways my perfect opposite. If I were the wind racing across the waves, Sarah was the gentle breeze that carried me. Where I charged ahead with wild abandon, she followed calmly, steady enough to catch me when I stumbled. Sarah had something special about her, something that drew people in. She listened with a kind of focus that made you feel like the most important person in the world. No matter how much chaos I brought to our adventures, she grounded us with her quiet strength. We were like two poles of the same magnet, different yet inseparably connected, like the sun and the moon sharing the same sky. That day, captured in the photograph, was one of those magical afternoons that feel like a storybook page. We built castles in the sand, towers that leaned precariously but stood proud until the tide swept them away. We waded knee-deep into the sparkling waves, daring each other to venture just a little farther. And when the sun began to dip, painting the horizon with hues of gold and orange, we sat side by side, letting the last rays of the day warm our faces. The photograph freezes that moment in time. My windswept hair, Sarah's serene smile, the ocean as our backdrop, and the world as our oyster. Yet even as I look at it now, I realize the true beauty of the memory isn't just in what we were doing. It's in who we were, two girls living in the moment, unburdened by the future, bound together by the kind of friendship that feels infinite. That photograph reminds me of the purity of those days, when the biggest challenge was deciding what game to play next, and the greatest triumph was catching a starfish before it slipped back into the sea. It's a snapshot of a time when joy came effortlessly, when every grain of sand seemed to hold a story, and when the horizon stretched endlessly, just like our imaginations. Even now, when life feels heavy and complicated, I can close my eyes and transport myself back to that beach. I can hear our laughter, smell the salt in the air, and feel the warmth of the sun on my skin. And most of all, I can feel the presence of Sarah beside me, steady and unshakable, as she's always been in my memories. This photo is more than an image. It's a key. A key that unlocks a door to a simpler time. A treasure chest of memories that remind me of the person I was and the friendships that shaped me. And as I look at it now, I'm not just seeing a younger version of myself. I'm seeing the echoes of who I am today. And I'm reminded of the moments that have made my heart feel whole. Right after the photograph, my memories take me to a special place. The old oak tree standing proudly just beyond the sand dunes. That tree wasn't just a tree. To us, it was a sanctuary, a treasure chest, and the keeper of secrets and dreams. Summer mornings began with the first rays of sunlight sneaking through my bedroom window. As soon as I dashed to the beach, Sarah would already be there, her tiny feet dusted with soft sand, and her straw hat casting a thoughtful shadow over her curious eyes. We greeted each day like a gift waiting to be unwrapped. Each day was an adventure. We'd race barefoot along the shoreline, letting the waves lap at our ankles, while daring each other to outrun the tide. The sand castles we built weren't just castles, they were entire kingdoms. Carefully adorned with seashells and seaweed, these creations were stories we wrote with our hands, etched into the shifting sands. One day, though, was different, special. It was a day I'll remember forever. We stumbled upon a hidden cove. We had decided to explore a new path, venturing through the tall, whispering seagrass. As we pushed past the final barrier, what greeted us was like something out of a fairy tale. The cove was a secluded paradise, framed by jagged rocks that seemed to guard its serenity. The water sparkled under the midday sun, a shade of blue so vibrant it felt like stepping into a dream. The old oak tree stood at the center of it all, its sprawling branches reaching toward the heavens and casting a wide canopy of shade over the soft earth below. It felt ancient, wise, like it had been waiting just for us. We named it the Heart of Summer. That oak tree became our haven. Its roots twisted and turned like veins, creating perfect little nooks where we could sit, dream, and share our secrets. Sarah loved to climb up its sturdy limbs, claiming the highest branch as her lookout. I preferred the base, leaning against its comforting trunk as I scribbled dreams into my little notebook. That summer, the old oak tree was the backdrop to our greatest adventures. It was where we dreamed up stories of distant lands and grand quests. It was where we hid from the sudden summer rain, laughing as droplets danced on the leaves above. It was where we learned the quiet beauty of just being, sitting in silence, listening to the wind rustle through the leaves, and feeling like we were the only two people in the world. One evening stands out in my memory. The sun was setting, painting the sky with hues of orange, pink, and gold. Sarah climbed the tree and perched herself on her favorite branch, gazing out at the ocean. "Do you think we'll always have this?" she asked, her voice barely louder than the breeze. I didn't know how to answer then, but I remember feeling a pang in my chest, a mix of hope and the bittersweet realization that nothing stays the same. "I hope so," I said, and for a moment the world felt still. The oak tree wasn't just a tree. It was the keeper of a magical summer, a silent witness to the laughter, the dreams, and the quiet moments that made those days unforgettable. Even now, whenever I see an oak tree, I feel a rush of warmth and nostalgia. I think of Sarah, her straw hat tipped against the sun, and the way her laughter seemed to echo in the leaves. That summer under the oak tree taught me something I carry with me to this day. Life is made of moments, simple, fleeting, yet profound. It taught me to cherish the beauty of the present and the bonds that make those moments truly magical. The old oak tree may be far away now, but its roots remain firmly planted in my heart, grounding me with the memory of a summer that will forever be ours. The cove was like a hidden gem, nestled within the untouched embrace of nature. The water was so crystal clear that we could see all the way to the bottom, where smooth, glassy stones sparkled like tiny treasures. The cliffs encircling the cove were adorned with wildflowers, their vibrant hues swaying gently in the salty sea breeze, as if they were part of a quiet celebration of this untouched paradise. That day, we claimed the cove as our secret haven, a paradise only we knew about. The entire afternoon passed in a blur of pure joy. We swam in the cool, refreshing waters, diving down as if we were mermaids exploring a magical underwater kingdom. When we grew tired, we rested on the soft sand, letting the sun dry our skin as we scribbled stories and dreams into the ground with our fingers. Sarah had brought a small notebook with her that day. She always carried it, a little treasure chest for her thoughts and sketches. Sitting cross-legged in the sand, we wrote our names on one of its pages, sealing it with a simple promise: friends forever. It felt like we were signing a sacred pact, a vow that nothing, not time, not distance, not even the inevitable changes of life, could ever break the bond between us. As the afternoon stretched into evening, the cove transformed under the golden hues of the setting sun. The sky shifted into a brilliant canvas of oranges and purples, casting its reflections on the shimmering water. The air grew cooler, but we didn't care. We sat side by side on the sand, our laughter fading into quiet contentment as we watched the sun dip below the horizon. It was one of those moments where words felt unnecessary. We didn't need to say anything to understand what the other was feeling. The beauty of the sunset, the gentle lapping of the waves, and the silent companionship we shared, it all etched itself deeply into our memories, as if the cove itself was imprinting its magic onto our hearts. I can still see Sarah in that moment, her face glowing in the soft light of the setting sun, her straw hat resting beside her, and her notebook clutched in her hands. I can still hear the rustle of the wildflowers in the breeze, the distant cry of a seagull, and the gentle rhythm of the ocean. It was perfection, pure, simple, and fleeting. That evening, as we left the cove, we paused to take one last look. The water glowed faintly under the twilight, and the wildflowers seemed to bow their heads in farewell. We knew, even as children, that we had found something rare and extraordinary. It was more than just a place. It was a piece of magic that belonged to us and us alone. Even now, years later, when I close my eyes, I can return to that secret cove, I can feel the cool water against my skin, hear the soft hum of nature around us, and see the vivid colors of the flowers against the rugged cliffs. It's a memory that feels more like a dream, one that reminds me of the unfiltered joy of childhood, the power of friendship, and the beauty of moments that are meant to be cherished forever. The cove may have been a secret we swore to keep, but its impact on me has been anything but silent. It taught me to find wonder in the hidden corners of the world, to appreciate the little treasures life offers, and to hold on tightly to the people and places that make life truly magical. Whenever I think of that day, I smile. It was more than just an adventure. It was a chapter of our story, a moment where the world felt limitless, and our hearts were as full as the sun-soaked sky above. The secret cove may have been small, but to us, it was an entire universe, and its magic will forever be a part of me. As time went by, that summer came to an end, taking with it the sunlit days and the echoes of our laughter. Sarah and I never forgot those memories, but life, much like the tide, carried us in different directions. Sarah moved to a different town, while I stayed behind, each of us chasing our own dreams. There was no grand farewell, no dramatic conflict. It was simply the natural course of life pulling us apart. Yet that photograph remains, a quiet reminder that some things, no matter how much time passes, never truly fade away. Looking at the photo today, I see more than just a memory. I see a reminder of the value of living fully in the present, of finding joy in the simplicity of a carefree moment, and of the priceless gift of genuine friendship. Sarah wasn't just my best friend. She was a mirror reflecting the best parts of me. She was the steady presence that helped me grow, the quiet strength I didn't always know I needed. Our friendship was like a wave, gentle yet powerful, leaving an imprint on my heart that will last forever. That summer wasn't just a season. It was a chapter in my life that taught me lessons I carry with me to this day. It taught me to cherish the fleeting beauty of now, to hold on to the connections that matter, and to let go gracefully when life calls for change. The photograph sits on my desk now, framed in a simple wooden border. It's a snapshot of two young girls on a beach, carefree and full of dreams. But it's also so much more. It's a portal to a time when the world felt infinite and the bonds of friendship unbreakable. I sometimes wonder where Sarah is now and whether she thinks of that summer too. I imagine her flipping through her old notebook, stumbling upon the page where we wrote our names and made our promise, friends forever. I like to think she smiles at the memory, just as I do, knowing that the essence of our friendship remains untouched by the years. Saying goodbye to that summer wasn't easy, but it was inevitable. Life moves forward, the seasons change, and we grow. But the beauty of those moments, the laughter, the shared dreams, they linger, woven into the fabric of who we are. That summer, with its sunlit afternoons and secret coves, taught me the power of connection and the magic of living in the moment. It reminded me that even as life pulls us apart, the memories we create together have a way of staying with us, like footprints in the sand that no tide can wash away. So, as I sit here now, looking at that photograph, I feel a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude for Sarah, for the magic of that summer, and for the reminder that some bonds, no matter how far we drift, remain forever etched in our hearts. This old photograph is more than just a keepsake. It's a treasure, a timeless story captured in an instant. It holds a piece of my heart, reminding me of the bonds we create and the moments we live that shape us, forever etching their presence into who we are. Life, with all its unpredictability, has a way of carrying us forward, often pulling us away from places and people we once held close. Yet, no matter how far we go, memories remain like a lighthouse, steadfast in their glow, guiding us through the darker nights of life. These moments, preserved in snapshots or tucked away in the corners of our minds, remind us to cherish the present. For the laughter, the connections, the quiet joys of today, they may one day become the treasures we hold most dear. When I close my eyes, I can still feel it all. The soft, warm sand beneath my feet, the salt-tinged ocean breeze brushing against my skin, the carefree sound of Sarah's laughter echoing through the air. Those memories, though seemingly small and fleeting, carry a power that transcends time. They remind me of life's simple truths. Friendship, joy, and peace are constants, no matter how much the world around us changes. As I sit here now, looking at that photograph framed on my desk, I realize its significance. It's more than an image, it's a reminder of a time when life felt infinite. The days were bathed in golden sunlight, and every moment was an adventure waiting to unfold. It's a symbol of a friendship that taught me the beauty of connection and the value of being present. The summer captured in that photo wasn't just about the adventures we had or the laughter we shared. It was about the lessons those moments left behind. The old oak tree, the secret cove, and the promises written in Sarah's notebook. They were more than places or objects. They were the backdrop to a time when life's magic was at its most vivid. A time that reminds me, even now, to find wonder in the world around me. I sometimes wonder where Sarah is today. I wonder if she still carries those memories, just as I do. Does she ever flip through her notebook and see the page where we wrote, "Friends forever"? Does she smile at the thought of those carefree days when we believed the world was ours to explore? I like to think that she does, and that somewhere, in the quiet moments of her life, she feels the same warmth those memories bring to me. Saying goodbye to that summer was bittersweet. It marked the end of a chapter filled with innocence, laughter, and discovery. But it also planted seeds of gratitude within me. Gratitude for the beauty of living in the moment, for the friendships that leave lasting imprints, and for the memories that become part of the tapestry of our lives. As you listen to this story, I hope it brings a sense of calm, a touch of nostalgia, and perhaps a reminder of your own treasured memories. These stories are not just about me, they're about all of us, about the universal threads of connection, love, and joy that weave through our lives. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this story brought you peace, comfort, or even a smile, I'd be deeply grateful if you'd like, share, and subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you're not just supporting me, but you're also helping create a space where we can share and celebrate stories that matter. Stories that bring us closer to the people we are and the lives we've lived. As you drift off tonight, let this story wrap around you like a warm blanket, carrying you into dreams filled with golden sands, endless skies, and the laughter of friendships that never fade. May you find peace in those dreams, and wake up with the gentle reminder that the moments you live today can become the treasures you carry forever. Good night, and I'll see you again in the next story. Until then, hold your memories close, cherish the connections you have, and always find a moment to pause and breathe in the beauty of life.